Should I break up with my GF and go monk mode for 2024 or not? I've been having relationship problems with my GF of almost 2 years now. We got together when I was at Jeffrey, smoking weed most days of the week, vaping 24/7, and basically just doing degen stuff no one should do. Now I've got a successful business and I've turned over £500,000 in 2023. Damn, nice, Kobe. The fuck? Yeah, I heard about you, Kobe. I've seen your profile before. Fucking 16-year-old making like fucking bank. What the hell? Like you're making like 40,000 a month. I'm very extreme in anything I do. I used to be an extreme Jeffrey. Now I'm doing what most people think is extreme by limiting my time and energy that people get from me and doing other extreme things like not putting my phone in my pocket, not touching receipts, working on Christmas Day, not listening to music. It's only the extreme guys who ever build up success. No real balanced person ever built up success. They might tell you that on like their cute quotes or some shit, but it's only the extreme people who have built up like a high level of success, who have made millions, who have become famous, who have changed the world. So good on you for harnessing that extreme energy inside of you. You were probably traumatized as a kid because I was. So we all were in the successful group. We're all there with like low HRV, childhood trauma, but at least we got money, guys. Yeah. My girlfriend says she wants to change too, but she keeps saying, yeah, but today will be an exception and this day and that day. I explained to her that she doesn't want to change enough then. Wrong move. Girls don't respond great to that. For months, I've been having daily thoughts about breaking up or thoughts that we aren't compatible anymore as I was such a different person when we met. She asked me if I would be fine with her going to her winter formal. Context, she's in year 11 secondary school. Also, this is like prom. I'm in year 12 and, you're homeschooled now as well. Winter formal is kind of like prom, but during the winter. And I said no. I said she could if she really wanted to, but I wouldn't support her decision because I know what her year is like. Afterwards, I heard from people that it was smoking and doing drugs and drinking. Yeah, she's also oblivious when it comes to sensible clothing choices and male attention. So all in all, I would not be happy with it. So it sounds like this young man has been working extremely hard, created extreme success for literally any entrepreneur. Like even for a 40-year-old man to make 500K revenue in 1 year is ridiculous. The fact that you're 16 years old, that's fucking mad. But let's just say, because this is a very like absurd example. Let's just say that Kobe is a 16-year-old who's making like 2K a month to make this a bit more reasonable. He's a guy like you who's been working hard, and it just so happened that his business started to get some sales, and he's also been working hard on his self-improvement. Should that kind of man who has now basically surpassed his woman end up leaving her and go and find like a new woman or stay single for a while, or should he stay with her? Let's continue reading, and I'll tell you the one comment, and then I'll tell you my mindset on this. And I really hope this will help you, Kobe, and any of the guy who's in a relationship right now, or who's considering getting into a relationship with a woman who's a little bit more like a Jessica. Now she's thinking about prom, which is in July. She sent me, so prom, like this was winter formal. This is like something that we sometimes do in UK high schools. And now this is like official prom, which is in like summertime. That's like the last day. Everyone meets up to like, dress up nice and you go to this place. And I don't know, in UK, we basically just drank and we got drunk as fuck in that. She sent me a dress that is obviously low cut, but she claims it's high cut. Fun fact, the first thing I noticed about her was her boobs in a low cut dress. So I have first-hand experience of what guys think when they see her irresponsible clothing choices. Prom is filled with even more degeneracy than winter formal, as everyone will bring drinks and you're allowed to smoke and vape there. It would be extreme for her to not go to her prom, but that's who I am and that's who I want around me, because I feel I need to be very selective and careful about who gets my time and energy, as this year is going to be really important for me to maintain and grow what I currently am doing to set me up for the rest of my life. We're constantly having arguments, which I think is generally from our differing lifestyles just clashing. She says she wants to change and listen to me and let me help guide her into a better lifestyle, but she seems she doesn't want it enough. She's not all bad though, don't get me wrong. I love her and she loves me, but I don't know if we're even compatible anymore. She also says she's on the edge that I'll break up with her because I've talked about it before. I don't know what to do. I don't want I don't want to not give her an answer and her constantly be on edge and worried about it. And I don't want to say we're breaking up or we're not until I've made my mind. That's why I've come here to get opinions from people with a neutral stance. Thank you for reading until the end. Jaden replied and wrote a really big comment, and he said, "Hey Kobe, I appreciate your vulnerability and openness about this subject. It's not easy to do so, so big respect. Here's a bit of my story, maybe it can help you out. I was a hardcore Jeffrey a year ago, and the girl I was messing with was also into the bad habits. Smoking, drinking, partying, skipping class to get high. I was never a party guy, so I didn't go, but she always did. I knew that I wanted to make a change back in January 2023, but it was mainly talk. I didn't know how much my degeneracy was holding me back, but I wasn't committed to myself, and when she tested me to see if I would fold, I always did. I even almost tried LSD or acid with her friends and her friends one night. I would have never done that on my own accord, but to get closer to her, to escape my own pains, yeah, why not? I tried my best to help her and help her and help her, to show her that this life of degeneracy wasn't serving us, but she never budged. It took my second read of The Way of the Superior Man to truly understand why. Chapter 1, stop hoping for a completion of anything in life. It's an unfortunate truth that she won't change unless she truly wants to change. It seems to me that she doesn't want that. She may say she wants it in moments, but at her core, she doesn't desire to grow and continue on the self-improvement path with you. Chapter 21, stay with her intensity to a point. This chapter is more so about dealing with the moods and emotional swings of the feminine, but I think you can also interpret it as something useful for this. If you've tried to penetrate her with love and compassion, tried to open her mind and body, but she still refused and wants to stay closed, you must stop giving her your energy. It seems that you understand that women don't like to be analyzed, so I'll ask you if you've tried to approach the situation with love, compassion, and affection rather than logic or reasoning. If the answer is no, then try that approach. I honestly don't know how you could do that, so maybe Hamza or Danish could help you with that. If the answer is yes and nothing's worked, I believe it'd be best for you to end things with her and focus on yourself. I know it's hard and that you love each other, but a hard and sad truth is that love isn't enough. If the two of you aren't pushing yourselves to grow as individuals and grow as a couple, I genuinely believe you shouldn't be with her. That goes for any relationship, not just women. There should be a mutual benefit in relationships. It doesn't have to be sleazy or based in finance or degeneracy, but there should be a mutual push for growth and furthering of each other's health, well-being, and overall success. Hope this helped you, Kobe. Keep us updated. Don't hesitate to shoot me a DM if you'd like to talk more about it. Jaden, thank you for that comment, man. I'm going to like that. Kobe, should you break up with your girlfriend and go monk mode for 2024 or not? Sounds to me that you and your girl have very little in common, and every month that passes by, that will shrink further and further and further. She wants to go and enjoy her time being like a young woman, getting attention from the guys inside of these social events and partying and drinking and vaping and showing off her body. You want to work hard to build a business and to develop yourself. You're on two completely different paths. You maybe have like a 5 or a 10% alignment that you're clinging onto right now, but that will keep on going, keep going. Every guy who has pushed hard on self-improvement has experienced the same thing. So let me tell you what's going to happen to you, Kobe, multiple times after this. Let's say you're at level 30. Just a weird number to say. You're at level 30. You've been grinding hard and now you're at level 40. You meet a girl who's attracted to the level 40 version of you and you consider her to be a level 40, even though she's got level 10 traits, but she's female, so we just bump her up to level 40. Problem is, she drops down to about level 35 after a few months because she's doing bad habits. You've boosted up to level 50. And now there's a clear difference between you guys. And at level 50 and at level 60, that's when there's better girls who are into you. That's when there's girls who are actually doing good things with their lives and not just being fucking consumer degenerate Jessicas. There's actually girls, there's girls out there who genuinely read books and actually go outside and like pick flowers and sing and dance and spend time with their mothers learning how to cook. There's genuinely like a lot of normal women like that. There's demons who just want to go and show their body and listen to like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and shit and just make noises in class and just fucking go on Snapchat and get Snapchat streaks. And it sounds to me like you're dating a demon. And I don't mean to say that she's a bad woman for this. It's just that she's clearly a degenerate. Like it's as simple as that. If she wants to go out and drink, that's completely her thing. And it's 100%. She's normal for doing that. You're the weird one, Kobe. Of course you are. You knew this already, right? You didn't mind being weird because you know that it's the weird guys, the ones who are working at this age, the ones who are actually developing themselves. They're the ones who look back and think, fuck me, I'm so glad I did that. So she wants to be normal. You don't. You're both going into different paths. So basically, at that point, what it means is there's going to be a day one of you moving on from her. Whether that day one is literally as you hear these words right now, you text her and say, we've got to talk. Or the day one is in a month or 2 months and you keep dragging it out and it's just taking away your focus away from the things that you'd rather focus on. There's going to be a day one from the point that you guys break up. You're not going to stay together forever. And what? She's 50 years old. You've got children. You're sat at home trying to raise your children to do muscle ups while she's going out and putting on high heels. And she's going to go and like, I don't know, imagine she's like bent down pissing on the street at 3 a.m. after a nightclub. It sounds extreme, but that's really the future for these kinds of people. I know because I've seen it myself, because I've been there myself. So it doesn't seem like this is even the woman that you want to be with. It's just that old love is keeping you there. You got this far in your own self-improvement journey, the progress that you've made through masculine logic. Issue is men turn off their masculine logic when it comes to choosing their partner. So how it happened for me was that when I was first getting started, for many years, I was in this kind of mode that most men are, where that if any girl did show me any kind of like receptive attention, I'd be into her and consider that she was high quality and I'd like look for any sliver of possibility that she was doing anything good. Or I'd get her like, with me and I'd get her to meditate next to me. And I'd think, yeah, she meditates. Yeah, she meditates, guys. The truth is, you know what happens to those girls that you try and force to get onto self-improvements? They don't continue. The moment that you split up or you have an argument, they stop. So if you think that, I'm going to get my girl to be better and go to the gym and meditate with me, like a superior man would, right, Hamza? You know what's going to happen now when you have an argument or when you break up, she's going to go out with these guys and start drinking and vaping with them because that's who she really is. You've put on, no offense, Kobe, but you probably were lonely when you met this woman. You probably don't have high standards in relationships. You probably do in business and self-improvement, which is nice. Maybe in fitness, nice. But most men have ridiculously low standards when it comes to women. And so what's probably happened is you see a woman who's basically a degenerate that if she was a male, you would think was an utter loser, that she doesn't eat clean food. She doesn't brush the back of her tongue. She doesn't floss her teeth at nighttime. She doesn't know, she hasn't educated herself ever. She's never read a book outside of school before. If she was a guy, you'd think he was a fucking loser. But because she's female, you add on an extra 40 points just because she's a female. Like, how ridiculous is that? Like she's never even she doesn't even go to the gym consistently. She'll only go with you randomly, but she's not going to go by herself because she doesn't want to, because she's showing you who she really is. And so you've got to be aware, it's weird to say this, but young men, it's like you need to look and actually judge a woman and think, is she worthless? It sounds horrible to say that because no human's worthless, but in terms of a relationship, many people are worse than worthless. Many people will only just drag you down. If you get into a relationship with most people, they are literally worse than worthless. They have no worth. They are literally even worse than that because they will drag you down. Someone who's worthless is just like a zero. They make no impact into your life whatsoever at all. Most people are worse than that. They will make a negative impact in your life, like this woman will. If your right-hand person, your right-hand woman is a degenerate who's going out drinking, who's staying out late, who's making you feel kind of anxious with this, I can act like some normal little spurg internet guy and say well, that's your problem, dude. It's your insecurity. But the thing is, you haven't really spoke about anything that's insecure in this. It's just that you've got different standards. If you are a man and you're certain that alcohol and vaping is not a good trait, which you know that of course it's not, why would you ever be fine with your woman doing it? I love my woman, but if she started to randomly drink alcohol or if she started to vape, I would absolutely break up with her. Absolutely. Because I see my woman almost as this holy sanctuary where my children will be born and develop. I see my woman as this sanctuary where she's keeping our home life and our family clean and healthy. That's what a woman is supposed to do. I see my woman as this pure, intelligent, educated woman who knows so much more about so many things, particularly health, than I do, that I'm asking her questions about it. Wait, is this healthy? What's that ingredient? And she knows and I don't. Can you see how valuable that was for me, meeting a woman who knows more than like certain things than I do? If you've met a woman that genuinely knows nothing that you don't know, that has no skill that you don't know, that isn't even healthy, that would be an uphill battle for you to have healthy children with her, scrap her. Now, if you're a loser, if you are an absolute loser and she's the only female attention you can get, fine. But Kobe, let's be honest, you're a fucking young killer. You're a young Adonis. If you're making money, any money at all, and you're a young guy, or you're a young guy and you're going to the gym and you're watching videos like this instead of watching fucking music videos, like instead of, I don't know, playing Fortnite or whatever the fuck kids are doing. If you're watching a video like this, you are an extreme man who is different. And the path you're on is going to lead you to an amazing place because I have put that path for you. I have walked that path myself. Then I have put in hundreds of thousands of men on the same path as you. And we see their lives transform. Every single one of them who commit themselves to this path of becoming like Adonis, of going to the gym, exercising, meditating, eating clean, becoming an entrepreneur. These things have changed every man who's willing to put the work in for them. And so it will do the same thing for Kobe and for any other guy who's watching this. When you watch my videos and you take my advice, your life changes forever because this advice works. We see it time and time and time again. The way that it works is that every 3 to 6 months, you are like another new version of yourself, the upgraded version of yourself. The problem is most people every 3 to 6 months are not the upgraded versions of themselves. Most people every 3 to 6 months aren't even the same. Most people every 3 to 6 months are worse than they just were before, and they live with that. Can you imagine how miserable it would be to live with someone like that who gets worse every 3 to 6 months whilst you get better? It's impossible. It'd be disgusting. I'd go as far as to say that if I had a child with a woman who was getting worse, I still wouldn't even want to be with her. I'd even push for like a divorce because of how miserable it would be to be with someone who's complacent and who's falling off and who's just getting worse and worse and worse every month by their own actions, by their own bad choices, just because of a lack of intelligence and education and ignorance. What a horrible existence that would be. So Kobe, the advice I'm giving you, if you can just take my advice as your mentor, of course you break up with her. Of course you do. Look at the man that you are. I'm not trying to like hype up your ego or some shit, but bro, you are too fucking good for this. For many young men, when you get onto self-improvement, the truth is you're too good for most people now. I know that sounds egotistical, but just look at your fucking actions. Look at your traits. Look at the fact that you're reading into stoicism so you can have better emotional regulation whilst people are debating what fucking blueberry crunch fucking vape pen to buy. You are better than 99% of people when you get onto self-improvements. And if you spend too much time with those kinds of people, they rub off on you because there's a high status person in that environment, like in the party, you know, the attractive guy or the girl, that when they say something, your primal brain will naturally accept it as truth. And you'll find yourself acting like them. You'll find yourself picking up mannerisms from these Jeffreys and Jessicas, even though that they're losers. They have status inside of this group when you don't. If you're the guy on self-improvement and you go stand around these like Jeffreys, they don't value the same things as you. So they don't see you as a high status man who should be listened to. They actually see you as the weirdo who can't fit into the party. So why would you go to the party at all if you don't fit in, if you don't want to be there, if it's past your bedtime, why would you want to be with people with this genuinely zero benefit to being there? The point, like, you know, the healthy part of your social life is that you're around people who are actually nice to you. You're around people that you actually have pleasant thoughts around. If you're around people who you have negative thoughts around, like with your girl, and you're constantly thinking you should break up, that's not like, that isn't, you know, getting you the positive social experience feeling. You know how social life's like good for your mental health and everything. You don't get that when you're next to someone that you don't even like. So pull off the band-aid. What else are you going to do? You're going to wait a month, 2 months, and then break up after that and just look back and think, wow, I just wasted another fucking 2 months. 2 months of anxiety when she wanted to go out, and 2 months of me telling her, no, she can't do this, she can't do this. If you have to tell your woman you can't do this, you can't do this, she's not the right woman for you. Now, a man should absolutely place like guidelines in his home, 100%. A man should be the captain of his ship, and he should make it clear like what his expectations are for the household, for his woman. That's the traditional way, and I think that's a very powerful way for you to navigate your relationship as the masculine man. But that doesn't mean that you should be fighting this uphill battle. Your girl should genuinely want that. And she should want it because she's doing these things before she met you. That is the key indicator. If your girl was a Jessica when you met, she's always going to be she's always going to be a low quality person. It's just as simple as that. If your girl was already doing good things when you met and you're not coping, like I was when I made this girl meditate next to me and I was like, yeah, see, she meditates, guys. It's like, no. If she genuinely was meditating and journaling and getting sunlight and eating clean and exercising before you met her, she's got more likely that's like her real behaviors that she'll carry on. If she only starts those things because you keep pushing her, do you really think that after she has children 20 years from now, do you think you'll be able to convince her then when she's tired and she wants to sit on the couch and eat fucking potato chips and she's just gained like 30 pounds out of nowhere and now you don't even want to have sex with her, but you've made this commitment and you're just thinking, wow, holy fuck, this is my life. This is the fucking life that I live now, like one of those normal brokey men. You don't want to live a life like that. Put that fear in your mind and do whatever it takes to not end up like Jeffrey, where he's just married to this woman. Or, it's even worse. The thing is, Jeffrey's going to marry like Jessica and they're both going to be like brain dead idiots together. Imagine a man who isn't a Jeffrey. Let's imagine what's worse than a Jeffrey who pairs up with a Jessica. It's a man who is on the way to being Adonis. Imagine a Jeffrey who shaves his head, goes onto monk mode, meditates, works on his business, everything. Imagine, just picture that kind of man in your mind, how he goes from Jeffrey, being fat and he's got spots and everything, to eventually he almost looks like he's got military discipline. His face is getting sharper because he's getting leaner. He's got this deep gaze in his eyes because he's getting more present. He's eating clean. He's avoiding seed oils. He's, improving himself, meditation, gratitude, helping other people. Imagine that same guy doing push-ups in the morning whilst his wife is watching TV. And imagine how fucking sad it's going to be for this man, realizing that it's too deep. He got married. He's had children with that kind of woman who's got lower stomach fat, like that hanging fupa. Is that the term? Fupa. Fucking fupa. Is this what you want your future wife to have? Fucking fupa. Like that fat that rolls over the pelvis bone. While she's sat on the fucking couch eating crisps. Now, for Jeffrey, that's fine, because he's like, wow, I still get to have sex with a female. Wow, amazing. But for a young man who's on the path to becoming like Adonis, imagine that same guy who's bald because he's shaved his head off. He's doing push-ups, military style, everything. And imagine him walking in with this weird, sad look of defeat with a pack of Oreos that he has to go give over to that beast on the couch over there. That's an extreme example, but that's literally where you're going to. Because when you're pushing a person uphill, at some point you just get tired. At some point you have a bad month and you need to focus on yourself. And when you have a bad month, you can't afford to be putting attention into them. And so they completely backtrack as well. And then imagine that happening year after year after year. She's gained 5 pounds. She's gained 10 pounds. She's gained 20 pounds. She's gained 30 pounds because she's not trying to push for herself. This doesn't get any better is what I'm saying. So if you're with a woman right now that you're already thinking, quite frankly, that you are a lot better than her and that the two of you are on a different trajectory, it does not get any better. Trust me when I say that. I've ended multiple relationships to be on self-improvement because I met the girl when we were somewhat equivalent, and within a few months I had still kept on skyrocketing my worth, my value, my behaviors, my habits. And looking back at the girl or looking at her right now and thinking we're not even compatible anymore. I met you when I was still doing that bad habit. That was so long ago, and you still do the exact same thing. You can't keep these old people in your life, especially when they're causing you mental chaos as well. So that's my advice for you, Kobe, and for any other young guy who's got a girlfriend right now that you feel is quite frankly below you. And especially if you're young and you don't even have children yet, there's absolutely no problem for you to just break up. Honestly, when you're at this age, it's yeah, sure, she's going to cry, you're going to cry, but who gives a fuck? After 3 days, you'll be fine. After a week or two, it's going to hurt your feelings. But this is the kind of girl who she'll start dating a guy ASAP. She's already messaging the guy who she's going to start dating. I know that's fucked to say, But literally, the guy who she's going to start sleeping with and sucking his dick after you break up, she's already messaging. You probably know who it is. And I know that hurts you. And I know you want to hold on to that. But just think, that's what a low quality woman is. That you already know the guy who's going to end up fucking her after you leave her. It's going to fuck up your mental health to hear this, but it's the truth. And that should actually push you further away from a woman like this. When you have a normal woman who's not even on self-improvement, it's like, this is a weird fucking chaotic like realization for men. You know you've got a low-quality woman when you genuinely know what guys are going to hit her up after you break up. You literally know their names, you know who they are, and you know who she probably prefers just because you've seen enough of her degenerate behavior and her sort of like small behaviors and whatever, like to do with a certain guy who messages her on Snapchat. That's how much of a low-quality woman she is. And I know that gives you a painful feeling and you're thinking, wait, I don't want that to happen. I just want her. What you need to understand is the sooner another man takes her, the better for you. It sounds crazy because you've got an attachment to her, but the sooner we can break this attachment, the sooner you can move on. So you can keep waiting whilst this other guy holds her eye contact when they go to parties together and they, send each other fucking Snapchat streaks or whatever kids are doing. You can keep waiting while some other guy tears down your relationship. Or you can tear it down yourself and at least leave as like the big man and then never speak to her ever again. This is a very important part. Most men don't listen to this because they let their feminine emotions override this point. But you're going to break up with this woman and you're going to block her from everything. Then you're also going to go onto every social media and delete anyone who would post anything about her. You don't do this step, you'll be back here watching the same video in a few months after having a few months of like a bad time. You do this step, in a few months, you'll be thinking back to this point and thinking, fuck me, Hamza was right. You block her on everything. Shut the fuck up about like, oh, but it's not going to look cool or whatever. Shut up. You block her on everything, and you also go in and you delete anyone who would post something about her. So any of your friends that might tag her in some shit, any of the people you know from school or whatever who might put her, you might see her on their story, you delete them. And you're going to have one fucking awkward conversation where some guy's going to look at you and be like, oh, why did you delete me, bro? And you'll be like, oh yeah, whatever. You say one fucking sentence, the conversation's done, and you just save yourself another piece of heartbreak. The amount of idiot men who don't delete the girl that they've just broken up with and then see some crazy shit that she went out with this guy and she's posted a picture of this guy or whatever, and they're like, oh bro, I miss her so much. I'm like, you fucking idiot. You absolute fucking idiot. I gave you the advice. I told you exactly what to do. You knew that my advice was going to work for you and you didn't follow it because you listened to your own little emotional brain instead of me, and now you're hurt for no reason, and now you're texting her and you've just made things worse. Oh bro, but we had makeup sex and it's all okay now, bro. Shut up. Don't be a fucking idiot. You block her from everything, understood? This is the only real way to move on in the modern day. Previously, you could have just like ended things in a nice way, fine. These days, when we have social media, if you don't block someone and you don't delete at least a couple of people when you break up with someone, you're fucked. Don't do this to yourself, because you'll be looking back with regret after a month of just having a bad time when someone's sending you a message and everything. Remember, I did a video on that guy who cheated on his girl multiple times, and then he said like she was like possessed by the devil because she's going out and drinking and stuff, and he kept on saying that people are sending him messages of what his girl's doing, and I told him the same advice. Even when you're in the wrong, you have to delete and block your girl and delete anyone else on social media, because it's fucked to basically keep twisting the knife after a breakup. You're trying to forget this person exists so that you can move on, and eventually in the future you can have like a normal relationship if you wanted one for any stupid reason. But at least for now, make it easier on yourself. The amount of guys who will just keep texting their girl or keep texting people about their girl is so stupid. I had a friend do this in Thailand when he broke up with his girl, and then literally just kept on texting her as much as me and my other friend was shouting at him, telling him stop it. It's like just an addiction some men have to self-harm, and it's purely idiotic. If you're planning to not listen to this advice, I want you to do something right now. Imagine I was stood next to you, and imagine, since you're acting like a bitch, imagine I took my hand like this and I slapped it across the side of your face. I bitch slapped you. I didn't slap you like this. I didn't punch you like a man. I bitch slapped you, and a little bit of blood came out of your lip, and I looked at you as if you were like a genuine bitch. That's what I want you to imagine right now. Because if you're going to act like a bitch, like an idiot, and not follow this advice, and keep texting your cute little girl even though you broke up, and keep basically fucking self-harming, sometimes you need another man to shake you by the shoulders and say, there is no logical reason at all to do what you're doing. No one benefits. You don't benefit. You're twisting the knife inside of you right now, and you're also just being weird towards these people who also want to move on as well. Expect that fucking shock of me randomly slapping you in the face. Because that's what you deserve if you just constantly keep texting the girl that you want to break up with. You keep texting the guys who are going out to parties with the girl. Like, why the fuck? There's no reason at all to do that. You've decided that you're going on two separate paths, that you're going to end things in a respectful way. After that, you absolutely must delete them. If you keep them on social media, you're going to click on their name. Maybe not in a few days, but soon you'll click on their names and you're going to see some shit that will make your heart wonder, and you'll be constantly like analyzing, wait, but you know, she said that guy was, but then on that Thursday of the 21st, we were still together and she had the text from that guy, so was she cheating or any fucking bullshit? Save yourself from that. As a man who's went through it myself, I wish another man who was bigger than me looked at me as if I was a bitch and backhanded me in the face and said, bro, what the hell are you doing? I just lost so much respect for you because you're acting like a little pussy. Put your phone away. Let's go to the gym. I wish another man did that. I wish I did that to some of my friends when they were just not listening to this advice. Let's just backhand a man in the face and say, like, why are you acting like a little bitch? Why are you acting like a little bitch? Why are you texting your ex-girlfriend that you don't even want to be with? What's the use of that? There's no use. You don't even have children or anything. And why are you texting friends about your ex-girlfriend, asking them what she's doing in these parties? Well, who the fuck benefits from that? You appear like a loser to everyone, including your ex-girlfriend. That makes her more likely to cheat on you or to fuck another guy afterwards anyway. So you've just done this counterintuitive approach to trying to look after her. And it also fucks up your mental health and your focus and everything else. No one wins from this kind of behavior. So the moment you've decided to break up with a woman, you take action on it, you rip out the band-aid and you delete them from social media. I'm highlighting this point because Kobe, I know you're a young man, and for other young men, I know that you all use social media, TikTok, whatever the fuck, Snapchat and whatever. And I don't want you to go through the same shit I did, which is that you break up and then you're looking at her Snapchat maps randomly, just seeing where she is. You break up and you're looking at stories on Snapchat or Instagram and you see like she's in the back of someone's story, like speaking to a guy or some bullshit. Like there's no use of that. Go and find every person who's involved in this right now and just delete them. Never see their posts again. What the fuck are they going to say? Oh, hey bro, I'm a degenerate Jeffrey who goes out and vapes and drinks alcohol. How come you don't want to see my posts, bro? Figure it out and reply with something respectful and just say like, oh, haha, new chapter of life. Haha, I don't want to see it. Don't even respond. Who gives a fuck? Why would you just lower your own self-improvement and business journey for this distraction? I hope that you'll take this advice, Kobe. Keep me updated. For any other young man going through a similar situation, you can write comments below this video and keep us all updated. If you want help like this was inside of my paid community, Adonis School, but you can go join my free community, Adonis Gang. It's the top link in the description. It grows by a few hundred people every single day. It's becoming the #1 men's online community out there, like ever. Like it's about to become the biggest men's community in the world right now. And so go over. It's the most engaged, actually. It's actually got #1 for most engaged community on this entire website. Go to the top link in the description. Come join your brotherhood. Come ask for advice. Come like speak to people and talk about stuff and whatever you want to do. And yeah, go click that link right now. Top link in the description. See you later.